It started with a loud, obnoxious, parade-style blast that shook the windows and sent birds scattering. I shuffled to my front door in slippers, opened it, and froze. A gleaming white stretch wedding limo sat in my driveway like it belonged there. Rose petals adorned the hood. The windows were tinted, and a guy in a tux leaned against my garage, scrolling his phone like he owned the place. I stepped outside, blinked, and said, "What in the actual carnival is this?" For context, I live in a quiet cul-de-sac, peaceful, predictable, the good kind of boring. My house sits at the end, surrounded by oaks, with a long private driveway I bought specifically for privacy. My pride and joy, a sleek black and silver fishing boat named No Regrets, lives there. So, finding a limo blocking my garage, my front steps, and my boat was like discovering a circus had set up camp in my yard. No note, no knock, just an idling engine and tuxedo guy acting like he was waiting for a latte. I cleared my throat. He didn't look up. "This is private property," I said louder. He smirked. "We were told it's fine. It's for a wedding. Should be done in a few hours." Before I could respond, I heard the sharp click-clack of heels. There she was, Linda. She wore a navy blazer that screamed, "I run this neighborhood," clutching a clipboard and sporting a smug grin wider than her overdone eyeliner. "Don't be dramatic, Jack," she said, waving me off like I was a pesky fly. "It's my daughter's big day. Surely you can spare your tacky boat space for a few hours of happiness." Linda and I had history. She once left a note on my truck because my shrubs were too wild by an inch. She tried to find me for a mailbox that wasn't in the HOA's approved shade of gray. This wasn't a misunderstanding, was Linda's magnum opus of entitlement. She knew I'd be home. She assumed I'd cave. I took a deep breath. "Linda, you didn't ask. You just parked a limo in my driveway like I'm hosting your wedding." She crossed her arms, already annoyed I wasn't bowing to her. "It's temporary. The limo needs to be close for the bride's grand entrance. You never use this space anyway. That ridiculous boat hogs it. Be grateful we're making it useful." "Grateful?" I glanced at the limo. Tuxedo guy shrugged, clearly uninterested. "So you're not moving it?" I asked, giving them one last chance to act like adults. Linda's eyes gleamed with self-righteous fury. "No. And if you try anything, I'll have the HOA fine you for disruption." She spun and marched off, heels stabbing the pavement. I stood there, staring at the limo, then my boat, then the limo again. That's when it hit me, a brilliant, petty, glorious idea. If Linda wanted to play games on my property, I'd show her what happens when you mess with the wrong homeowner. I opened my garage, sunlight glinting off No Regrets. She was hitched to her trailer, ready to roll. I backed my truck up, hooked her up, and pulled out slowly, like a general preparing for battle. Down the street, the wedding was taking shape on the community lawn. White chairs, a floral arch, guests in stiff suits. Linda was at the center, barking orders, oblivious to the storm brewing. I circled back, the limo still blocking my driveway. Tuxedo guy was now lounging on the hood. Perfect. I reversed my truck, positioning No Regrets directly behind the limo, nose to trunk, bumpers inches apart. The limo was trapped between my house and a 24-foot boat. I stepped out, grabbed a lawn chair, and sat on my porch like a king guarding his castle. Tuxedo guy hopped off the hood, circling the setup. Is that staying there?" I grinned. "Yup." From the distance, I heard Linda scream a full-throated wail that echoed through the cul-de-sac and sent a cat darting under a car. I knew I'd hit the jackpot. Linda came charging down the sidewalk, clipboard in one hand, phone in the other, her face redder than her lipstick. "Move that thing now," she shrieked. I sipped my iced tea, legs crossed. "You mean my boat? On my driveway? Just thought I'd use this space you said I don't need." "The limo needs to leave after the ceremony," she spat. "My daughter has a spa appointment, then photos at the park. You've trapped them." I tilted my head. "Huh. Looks tight. Maybe they shouldn't have parked in my driveway without asking." "You're impossible," she yelled. "No, Linda," I said calmly. "I'm teaching you about boundaries and geometry." She quivered, clearly wanting to scream, but aware guests were arriving. "Let's not ruin the day," she said, forcing a smile. "Move the boat, and we'll be gone by evening. No harm done." I leaned forward. "Harm was done the moment you treated my property like your personal parking lot." She stormed off, dialing her phone. I expected her to call the HOA or a tow truck, but what arrived was better. A police cruiser, rolling in slowly like it was responding to a suburban soap opera. Linda's eyes lit up as she ran to the officer, pointing at me like I'd stolen her wedding cake. The cop, a calm guy named Officer Daniels, approached me first. Afternoon. Got a call about a parking issue. Issue's a strong word, I said, offering him a water bottle. Linda had a limo park in my driveway without permission. I parked my boat behind it. Now she's upset. Daniels nodded, eyeing the scene. The limo's not yours, but the boat is? Yup. Property's mine too. Deed's inside if you need it. Linda jumped in. He's sabotaging my daughter's wedding. Make him move that boat. Daniels raised an eyebrow. You parked a vehicle on private property without permission, and now you're mad the owner blocked it? Linda's mouth opened, but nothing came out. Daniels turned to me. You're within your rights. It's your property. Civil matter at best. To Linda, he added, figure out how to move that limo after the boat's gone whenever that is. He tipped his hat and left. Linda was speechless. I resisted the urge to applaud. Then the bride arrived. Dressed in white, hair perfect, she stepped out of a car expecting joy but found chaos. Her mom arguing with a cop, a boat blocking her limo, guests whispering. Linda rushed to her. Sweetie, it's just a mix-up, nothing to worry about. The bride, Emily, locked eyes with me and walked over. Is this your house? And boat, I said. Did my mom park the limo here without asking? I nodded. Try to be nice about it. Emily sighed, turning to Linda. Mom, what did you do? Linda babbled about logistics, but Emily cut her off, pulling out her phone. We're getting another ride. Move the limo. I told you to stay out of the planning. Linda's jaw dropped. Guests muttered, some smirking. The limo driver chimed in. I've been waiting 2 hours. If this car doesn't move soon, I'm charging overtime. Linda's face went pale. I almost felt bad almost. But I had one more card to play, and it would make this legendary. The next morning, the neighborhood was buzzing. Neighbors texted, offering to bring chairs for the standoff. The limo was still there. Emily had left in another car, but Linda hadn't coordinated its removal. Her fury had morphed into full entitlement mode. At 10 a.m., a convoy arrived. Linda's SUV, stuffed with wedding decor, the HOA president, Mr. Thompson, clutching a clipboard, and a tow truck, its driver looking confused. I sat on my porch, coffee in hand, ready for round 2. Linda marched over. This has gone far enough. Move that boat. Morning, Linda, I said, waving. Nice day for a parking dispute. The wedding's over, the guests are gone, and your stunt ruined the photos, she snapped. Move it, and we'll forget this happened. Forget. I laughed. I'm framing this boat limo masterpiece for my wall. Thompson shuffled over. As HOA president, I'm informing you that you're violating community harmony guidelines. Harmony. I stood. I've got video, timestamps, and witness statements proving Linda trespassed. Want to talk violations? I've got a binder. Thompson blinked. Be reasonable. It's a misunderstanding. No, I said, it's entitlement. Until the limo owner apologizes and signs a liability waiver, no regrets stays. Linda exploded. You're humiliating me. You did that yourself, I replied. The tow truck driver approached. Towing the boat or the limo? Neither, I said. Tow anything, and you're buying me a new one. He backed off. Linda sent over a relative, Uncle Mike, who tried charm. Look, man, the wedding's ruined, everyone's stressed. Let's call it even. Tell you what, Mike, I said. I'll move the boat in 2 hours, but I'm posting this story online with photos and videos. People should know what happens when you skip permission. Mike paled. You'll embarrass the family. Linda already did, I said. Linda returned, smug. I spoke to a lawyer. You're creating a hostile environment. Your limo created an illegal one, I shot back. What'll it take to end this? An apology video for the neighborhood chat. Never, she spat. Then the boat stays. Tomorrow, I'm hosting a driveway fish fry. You're invited. Silence. Emily showed up, apologized sincerely, and convinced Linda to sign a note admitting she used my property without permission. I shook Emily's hand, took a photo of the note, and moved the boat. The limo pulled away, Linda glaring from the passenger seat. But this wasn't over. Days later, a letter slid under my door, HOA letterhead, reeking of Linda's perfume. It accused me of obstructing communal peace and inappropriate marine storage, threatening a property review. It was too perfect to be random. Linda was plotting revenge, weaponizing the HOA. I didn't ignore it. I gathered ammo. HOA bylaws, every ridiculous complaint Linda ever sent, like finding my too blue birdhouse, and neighbors' stories of her overreach. One got fined for a too bright porch light, another for a non-regulation garden gnome. At the HOA meeting, I arrived with a binder, witness statements, and a screenshot of the limo in my driveway. Linda sat up front, smirking. Thompson opened, but Linda cut in. I moved to censure Mr. Carter for his hostile behavior during a community event. I stood. I'd like to respond. I passed out evidence, detailing Linda's abuses, her trespassing, and her bullying. The kicker, a video of her saying, "It's just a driveway, no big deal," while flailing dramatically. The room went quiet. Linda's allies avoided her gaze. A board member, Susan, spoke up. "Maybe it's time to review our leadership. This isn't the first issue." Linda snapped. "You're turning on me over one mistake?" A neighbor, Tom, chimed in. "It's not one mistake, Linda. We've all dealt with you." Linda stood, red-faced, and stormed out. The board suspended her, appointing Susan as acting president. The room exhaled, tension lifting. That night, neighbors gathered for a driveway barbecue. Someone brought a boat-shaped cake. "Move no regrets yet?" a neighbor asked. "One more day," I said, just in case. A week later, Linda struck again. Flyers appeared everywhere. The truth about the boat tyrant. They featured a photoshopped image of me with a pirate hat, accusing me of humiliating a devoted mother with malicious boating equipment. I laughed so hard I spilled my coffee. The neighborhood wasn't fooled. The community chat roasted the flyers, calling them Linda's fiction debut. But I wanted to seal the deal. I dug out old vinyl banners from my fishing charter days, washed no regrets, and hung a sign: private driveway, private property, private boat, not Linda's wedding venue. Next time, ask. I parked it in my driveway, visible to all. Cars slowed. People honked. Someone left cookies labeled Captain Awesome. The next evening, Linda walked by, sunglasses low, hat pulled down. She stopped, staring at the banner like it had insulted her lineage. I said nothing. Her defeated look said it all. The HOA never reinstated her. Susan's leadership brought reason, not tyranny. Linda faded into the background, her reign over. I moved no regrets back to the garage, but the banner did its job. Months later, I saw Emily walking her dog. "Still got the boat," she called. "Always," I grinned. "Thanks for standing up to her," she said. "You gave others the guts to do it too." This wasn't just about a boat or a limo. It was about boundaries, respect, and showing that even a petty fishing boat can sink an entitled empire. If Linda tries again, no regrets is ready.